Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys draft haul questioned by analyst, going backwards. Jerry Jones insisted earlier this offseason that the Dallas Cowboys are all in on the 2024 season, and, while the franchise's approach to free agency casts doubt on Jones' statement, the franchise did address some key needs during the 2024 NFL Draft. Following key losses along the line of scrimmage this offseason, the Cowboys invested 5 of 8 selections in fortifying the offensive and defensive lines. NFL Media's Bucky Brooks put together a list of his favorite draft classes across the league, and one team that left him scratching his head. The Cowboys' haul earned the latter dubious distinction. Though Prescott and the Cowboys have been at their best when the front line dominates the trenches, Brooks writes. The questions surrounding Tyler Guyton, a raw prospect, and Cooper Beebe, underwhelming traits, make it hard to comprehend the team's draft strategy, especially considering the other prospects who were on the board. If Guyton and Beebe fail to make a swift transition to the NFL in year one, the Cowboys' offense could struggle to move the ball consistently against top opponents. With the team failing to pick up plug-and-play prospects at running back and wideout, the offense will need serious contributions from a retread in the backfield, Ezekiel Elliott, and possibly a 6th-round receiver, Ryan Flournoy. At the moment, this feels like a team that's moving backward, not going all in. For a franchise at a pivotal juncture led by a head coach and quarterback on lame-duck contracts, and whose only marquee offseason addition was a veteran linebacker, the Cowboys are placing immense pressure on its incoming draft class to make key contributions in key spots immediately. The Cowboys' first-round selection of Guyton has drawn mixed reviews, with the Oklahoma tackle considered a raw project by some analysts and NFL evaluators. However, former Minnesota Vikings general manager and current CBS Sports analyst Rick Spielman believes the Cowboys filled one of their most pressing needs by tabbing Guyton at number 29 overall. I wouldn't be surprised if they move him over to the left side, Spielman says. I know that he played on the right side at Oklahoma, but he's more than athletic enough to move over to the left side. I do like his aggressiveness and the style that he plays with. This was a huge need that Dallas had to fill. And I bet that if they put him over at left tackle, he'd be the starter, and you can keep Tyler Smith at guard, where I think he's better at guard than he is at left tackle. If Guyton is ready to step in and play at a high level immediately, it would soften much of the blow from the Cowboys being unable to re-sign Tyron Smith in free agency. Last season in Norman, Guyton didn't allow a sack while surrendering 3 quarterback hits and 9 total hurries, according to Pro Football Focus. From strictly a tools perspective, Senior Bowl Executive Director Jim Nagy recently told Heavy. You could make a good case he's the highest ceiling tackle in this draft. Tyler just does things athletically these other guys can't do. He's so light on his feet it just looks like he's floating sometimes. Even though he's played right tackle in college, he's a high-level left tackle athlete. The Cowboys are bringing back Ezekiel Elliott, and the veteran running back is returning on a team-friendly contract. According to a report from the Star-Telegram, Elliott is set to play on a 1-year contract worth $3 million, including $2 million guaranteed. Returning to the Cowboys after spending 1 season with the New England Patriots, Elliott rushed for 642 yards with 3 touchdowns while starting the final 3 games of the 2023 campaign. This was my priority. Doing what I could to get back here, Elliott told Clarence Hill Jr. of the Star-Telegram. I have a lot left to accomplish here. I'm excited to get back with the fellas and chase that ring. NFC contender may trade for run-stuffer heavyweight. NFC contender Dallas Cowboys may trade for run-stuffer heavyweight and Cleveland Browns defensive tackle Maurice Hurst this offseason. The NFL draft is in the rearview, allowing the Cowboys to add veteran depth to their roster. They may add Hurst after waiting until the 7th round of this year's draft to select a defensive tackle. One of the top priorities for America's team is to restore their run defense, which they already have a complete pass defense. The weakness of the Cowboys' defense under former defensive coordinator Dan Quinn was stopping the run and red zone drives. However, they could make a trade happen to bolster their defense to provide the team with a veteran piece before this fall. The Cowboys allowed 112.35 rushing yards per game during the 2023 campaign while surrendering 14 rushing touchdowns. According to NFL analyst Dustin Mosher, he suggests that the defensive lineman could be an ideal trade target to watch for the Dallas Cowboys. Hurst would provide veteran stability to a young group while contributing quality snaps in obvious rundowns. The Cowboys weren't able to add veteran defensive pieces other than Eric Kendricks, so this trade would make sense. This could open up conversations about Calais Campbell possibly coming in to sign with the team on a cheap one-year deal. One NFL insider seems to think that he is the best available free agent for the Dallas Cowboys to acquire for their defense. However, the Browns may be looking to move on since the defensive group looks to be packed. The defensive group consists of Dalvin Tomlinson, Shelby Harris, and incoming second-round pick Michael Hall Jr., so they could view him as expendable. The Browns could look to get some draft capital like a fifth-round pick from the Cowboys if the trade happens. Hurst could be a good addition to the interior pass rush presence, which is something that the Cowboys have been lacking last season. Some of the opponent running backs have been able to sneak through holes and gain large yardage against the run defense. Dallas Cowboys predicted to land most polarizing star QB to replace Dak Prescott. The Dallas Cowboys did it yet again, and Dak Prescott, with the season on the line and legitimate expectations for a Super Bowl run from smart people both inside the Dallas building and media/analysts from outside, believed this 2023 squad was different. Prescott was in the discussion for NFL MVP this season and closed out arguably the best regular season of his career. The Cowboys entered the wild card round matchup as 2-score favorites over the Green Bay Packers, who have a first-year starting QB and the youngest roster in the NFL. Dak Prescott closed out the 2023 regular season ranked in the top 5 in several major categories for NFL QB. He came into Sunday's playoff matchup against the Green Bay Packers with 4,516 yards, third, 36 touchdowns, first, 9 interceptions and a QB rating of 72.5, second. Although some rolled their eyes when Jerry Jones and company decided to fire Kellen Moore at the end of last season, as he's regarded as one of the up-and-coming young and brilliant offensive minds, head coach Mike McCarthy took over play calling and the Dallas Cowboys offense looked elite for the majority of the year. Finally, Prescott and CeeDee Lamb found the perfect chemistry and emerged as arguably the top quarterback/wide receiver tandem in the league. Beyond Dak Prescott and the explosive offense that averaged 389 yards and 30 points per game and finished with 77 touchdowns in the regular season, the Dallas Cowboys had a defense that finished the season ranked 5th in the NFL. After another disappointing early exit in the playoffs, the Dallas Brass entered the offseason with more question marks than answers. Initially, the expectation was Jerry Jones and company would sign Prescott to a contract extension to free up cap space and keep the core of their star players in place. But in a recent development, reports have confirmed both Prescott and the Cowboys are going to let their franchise QB finish out his current deal, making him a free agent after 2024. USA Today is already looking ahead to 2025 and made the prediction Prescott won't do enough in 2024 to earn a new contract with the Cowboys, so Dallas will be seeking a new franchise QB after this season. And in typical Jerry Jones fashion, USA Today's mock draft has the Cowboys making a major splash next April, bringing in Colorado QB Shedeur Sanders, the son of NFL Hall of Fame CB Deion Sanders, who played some of his career in Dallas. While there's plenty of time for Dak Prescott to iron out an agreement to stay in Dallas for the foreseeable future, the 8-year veteran hasn't engaged in any contract talks yet and can force his way onto the free agent market where he'd be sure to command an astronomical payday, the site noted this week. If the nightmare scenario somehow materializes for Jerry Jones, having Sanders take the reins to the Cowboys' attack would be a fascinating possibility. USA Today's Kurt Popejoy declared Sanders the most polarizing prospect in the country. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation of Shedeur Sanders? Leave your opinion in the comments.